Once upon a time, in a small village in the heart of the countryside, an old stone house stood proudly in the middle of a lush garden. The house belonged to a lady named Eleanor, a gentle, kind-hearted woman who was known for her wisdom and kindness. Eleanor had lived in this house all her life. She was born here and grew up surrounded by the scent of flowers and the song of birds. Her life was simple, punctuated by the seasons and the cycles of nature. She cultivated her garden with love, watching over each plant as if it were a precious treasure. One day summer drew to a close and the leaves on the trees began to turn golden. Eleanor was visited by a young man named Thomas. He looked tired and stressed and had heard of Eleanor's wisdom. "Madam Eleanor," he said, "I've come to see you because my life has become so complicated and stressful that I don't know how to cope with everything anymore. I heard you might have some advice for me." Eleanor greeted Thomas with a warm smile and invited him to sit in her garden. She poured him a cup of tea with freshly picked herbs, and they began to chat softly. "My dear Thomas," Eleanor began, "I understand your suffering. Modern life can be so overwhelming, but allow me to tell you a story." She spoke of a time when the world was less hurried, when people took the time to appreciate the little things in life. She spoke of mornings spent contemplating the sunrise, of walks in the woods to listen to birdsong, and of evenings spent gazing at the stars. Thomas listened attentively, letting himself be carried away by the softness of Eleanor's voice and the images she conjured up. He realized how much he had neglected these simple moments of happiness. "Madam Eleanor, you're right," he finally admitted. "I've been so absorbed in my career and my worries that I've forgotten to really live. How can I get that simplicity back into my life?" Eleanor smiled at him again and said, "Start by taking the time to reconnect with nature. Get out of your house and breathe in the fresh air. Listen to the birds sing and look up at the stars at night. Let yourself be swept away by the beauty of the world around you." Thomas took these words to heart and decided to follow Eleanor's advice. He spent more time outdoors, walking in parks, strolling through woods, and sitting by rivers to meditate. He began to notice the little wonders of nature that he had always taken for granted. Gradually, his stress began to ease. He felt more relaxed, more at peace with himself. He got into the habit of rising early to watch the sunrise and spent his evenings contemplating the stars. These simple moments became the most precious parts of his day. Thomas returned to visit Eleanor several times, sharing his experiences and expressing his gratitude for her wise counsel. Eleanor was happy to see the positive change in Thomas's life and was grateful to have been able to help him. The seasons passed and winter arrived with its blanket of snow. Eleanor and Thomas continued to see each other from time to time, but visits were less frequent as the cold made travel difficult. During the winter, Thomas immersed himself in reading books on nature and spirituality. He sought to deepen his connection with the world around him. He learned to meditate and refocus on the present moment, distancing his mind from the worries and preoccupations of the outside world. In the spring, Thomas returned to Eleanor's home with a light, soothed heart. He had truly found balance in his life thanks to the simplicity and tranquility Eleanor had taught him. "Madam Eleanor," he said, "I don't know how to thank you for everything you've done."